Long before the first dinosaurs walked the Earth, the skies belonged to a lineage of apex predators that have remained largely unchanged for 300 million years. Dawn breaks over the marsh, revealing a modern descendant of these ancient titans, the emperor dragonfly. Covered in morning dew, it rests motionless, but its massive compound eyes are already processing the world around it. These eyes are biological marvels, consisting of up to 30,000 individual optical units called ommatidia, granting the insect near-perfect 360-degree vision. Before it can take to the air, the cold-blooded predator must undergo a crucial pre-flight sequence. It aggressively vibrates its massive flight muscles, functioning like a complex biological engine warming up in the damp morning air. This rapid shivering generates internal heat, raising the temperature of its thorax to the critical threshold required for sustained flight. The intricate black veins running through its transparent wings act as structural reinforcements, ensuring the delicate membranes can withstand immense aerodynamic stress. With an explosive release of kinetic energy, the dragonfly launches from its perch, displacing water droplets with the sheer force of its downdraft. Once airborne, it transforms into one of the most agile flying machines in the natural world, capable of independent wing control. Unlike birds or bats, it can flap its four wings in alternating pairs, allowing it to hover, fly backward, or accelerate to speeds exceeding 30 miles per hour in a fraction of a second. This is an animal perfectly engineered by millions of years of rigorous evolutionary pressure. Hovering completely stationary above the dark water, the predator locks its vision onto a target. When a dragonfly hunts, it does not simply chase its prey from behind. Instead, its incredibly advanced neural network calculates an interception trajectory, predicting exactly where the prey will be in the next few milliseconds. When a blue damselfly makes the fatal mistake of crossing this airspace, the emperor dragonfly executes its attack with terrifying precision. The ambush is a masterpiece of biomechanical engineering. The dragonfly snaps its spiny, heavily armored legs forward, forming an inescapable basket that traps the struggling damselfly mid-air. It secures the prey against its lethal mouthparts without ever losing aerodynamic stability or dropping altitude. The dragonfly boasts an astonishing 95% hunt success rate, making it the most deadly and efficient predator in the entire animal kingdom. Landing to consume its meal, the emperor dragonfly utilizes powerful, heavily serrated mandibles designed to crush chitinous exoskeletons with ease. Every movement is systematic and ruthless, maximizing caloric intake to fuel its highly active lifestyle. After the feast, grooming is not a matter of vanity, but of absolute survival. It meticulously uses its bristled front legs to wipe its massive eyes clean of microscopic debris, ensuring its optical targeting system remains flawless for the next hunt. But maintaining control over such a rich hunting ground is a constant battle. The arrival of a rival male emperor dragonfly instantly shatters the peace of the territory. What follows is a high-speed, three-dimensional dogfight that pushes their physiology to the absolute limit. They engage in a violent spiral toward the sun, executing aerial maneuvers that would cause a human fighter pilot to black out from the intense G-forces. Mid-air collisions are brutal, physical contests of dominance. Their massive wings crinkle and bend under the immense physical force of the clash, while their spiky legs grapple for a lethal hold. Our resident male relies on sheer size and territorial aggression, forcefully driving the intruder downward toward the deadly surface tension of the pond. Defeated, the rival breaks away and flees, leaving the victor to claim the airspace and the mating rights that come with it. Survival in the micro-world is not just about fighting off rivals. It is also about battling the elements. As the midday sun beats down, the insect faces the very real danger of fatally overheating. To combat this, the dragonfly adopts a bizarre, highly specialized thermoregulatory stance known as the obelisk posture. By pointing the very tip of its long abdomen directly toward the sun, it drastically reduces the surface area of its body, exposed to the scorching solar radiation. In this delicate balancing act, the wings play a crucial secondary role. They are angled downward to cast calculated, microscopic shadows over the vital organs housed in the bright green thorax. The dragonfly will hold this rigid, statue-like pose as long as the direct sunlight persists. The very moment a cloud obscures the sun and the ambient temperature drops, the insect immediately relaxes, preserving energy and lowering its abdomen back to a resting state. The hunt never truly stops. Detecting the subtle ripples of a water strider below, the dragonfly drops like a stone, utilizing gravity for a silent, high-speed freefall. But in this ruthless ecosystem, the apex predator of the sky is incredibly vulnerable to the monsters lurking in the deep. A massive frog erupts from the water, its jaws snapping violently as its sticky tongue shoots forward to claim the dragonfly. Survival comes down to neural processing speed. In a fraction of a millisecond, the dragonfly's brain registers the threat and sends emergency signals to its flight muscles. It executes an impossible backward loop, defying momentum and dodging the amphibious assault by mere millimeters. Retreating to the safety of the high willow canopy, its heavily taxed respiratory system pumps air rapidly through its spiracles as it meticulously cleans away the splash of the near-death encounter. The sudden arrival of a female emperor dragonfly instantly rewires his priorities from survival to reproduction. He launches into a high-speed pursuit, carefully tracking her flight path from above and behind. Using highly specialized claspers at the very tip of his abdomen, he securely grabs the female by the back of her head. This aggressive aerial docking, known as a tandem linkage, is necessary to guide her down to the reeds for the most critical phase of their life cycle. The mating process of the dragonfly is uniquely complex. The female must curl her abdomen forward and upward, connecting it to the male's secondary genitalia located under his thorax, forming the iconic heart-shaped mating wheel. During this delicate connection, the male actually uses specialized anatomical tools to scoop out the sperm of any previous suitors before depositing his own. He guarantees his genetic legacy before releasing her head, letting her drop toward the dangerous waters alone. The female is now driven by a singular, overwhelming instinct to protect her unborn offspring. She navigates the dense, submerged forest of aquatic plants, searching for the perfect nursery. Using a specialized, microscopic saw-like organ called an ovipositor, she cuts tiny, precise slits directly into the soft tissue of a rotting plant stem. This method, known as endophytic oviposition, hides the fragile eggs from the hungry mouths of fish and diving beetles. Over the next few weeks, entirely hidden from the world above, the translucent eggs develop in the murky depths. Inside, a bizarre and alien life form is taking shape. When the egg finally ruptures, a tiny aquatic nymph, completely unrecognizable from its parents, bursts into the water. For the first year of its life, this creature will not conquer the sky, but instead, it will rule the dark, muddy floor of the pond. The nymph relies on masterful camouflage and absolute stillness to ambush its prey. Its most terrifying adaptation is a hinged, robotic-like lower jaw called a labium, folded neatly beneath its head. When a mosquito larva wriggles too close, hydraulic pressure builds instantly, shooting the labium forward in a fraction of a second. The sharp pincers impale the victim and drag it back to the crushing mandibles with ruthless mechanical efficiency. As months pass in this underwater purgatory, the nymph grows massive, shedding its restrictive exoskeleton in a process called ecdysis. It breathes through specialized gills hidden inside its rectum, allowing it to draw oxygen from the water and, in times of extreme danger, forcefully expel water to jet propel itself away. Now heavily armored and swollen with the promise of wings, the nymph feels an ancient, irresistible urge to leave the water forever. Under the cover of night, evading the sharp eyes of predatory birds, the nymph climbs a sturdy reed into the alien, dry air. It anchors its sharp claws deep into the plant fibers and freezes. As the exoskeleton dries, it becomes a rigid, brittle tomb. Slowly, a microscopic crack forms along the back of the thorax, and the adult dragonfly begins one of the most dangerous and vulnerable transformations in the natural world. Hanging precariously upside down, the soft, vibrant green body of the adult slowly extracts itself from the old armor. With a sudden acrobatic flex, it swings upward to grip its own discarded husk. Its wings, currently nothing more than crumpled, wet sacs, begin to fill with internal biological fluid. They unfurl in breathtaking slow motion, expanding into four magnificent, intricately veined sails that will soon conquer the air. As dawn approaches, the morning sun hits the newly formed wings, baking them into stiff, glass-like sheets of aerodynamic perfection. The newly transformed Emperor Dragonfly takes flight with a powerful, triumphant downstroke. It leaves behind its empty, golden shell, a ghost of its aquatic past, as it ascends into the vast, sunlit sky, ready to begin the magnificent cycle of life all over again.